people in our hospitals that we currently have. We have more people in the hospital today, 2,450 with COVID, than we had at any point before this current surge. And when Hurricane Laura hit last year, we only had about 300 in the hospital. So evacuating hospitals is not going to be possible because there's nowhere to bring those patients to. There's no excess capacity anywhere else in the state or outside the state. And so we're really worried about prolonged power outages.
So, as you just heard from the governor, Louisiana hospitals are packed with COVID patients. Well, CNN asked a doctor in New Orleans how her hospital planned to protect some of the most vulnerable during the storm.
We will certainly handle whatever comes our way. I'm in a hospital right now, and I know that they've been very diligent about working with every partner we have to make sure that people can be discharged safely to a place that they'll be able to ride out the storm. And, as our hospitals have done, when they need to take patients because they are ill and cannot safely go home and ride out a storm, they'll do that. We're very good at making the most of our resources and flexing, and I'll say that just points to how good our staff is. They know what they're getting into. They know they might be called to take care of more patients or be stretched in ways that they're not used to being, and they're showing up anyway.
China is trying to discredit theories about the origins of the coronavirus. Coming up on CNN Newsroom, the conspiracy theories being pushed. It's signs that the campaign is finding a receptive audience. Stay with us.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch. For easy, fast, and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
It hasn't been such a long time since people first started shopping online, and it was easy to keep up with the clicks. Little by little by little by more, the clicks added up to be more than the stores, and retailers worked harder than ever before, because they had to keep up with the clicks. The clicks came from laptops, then tablets and phones, Monday through Sunday, office and home, 24 hours in every zone, and still they kept up with the clicks. Now shoppers ask more from the websites they're on, their language, their currency, their way, or they're gone, so you better keep up with the clicks. All of a sudden, there are so many must-dos if you want to keep selling, like delivery there, no there, or there.
And make it tomorrow, first thing.
No time for borders. Gotta stay in control, to stay in the flow and continue to grow. But we'll help you. Keep up with the clicks.
Our challenge was to determine the best place for our citizens and visitors to safely enjoy the Tokyo they know and love. Tokyo is a fascinating city that integrates both tradition and innovation. As governor, my first duty is to keep Tokyo safe. We cautiously monitored the global and local situation, consulted experts on safety measures, and began to apply new policies so Tokyo could begin to open. As we prepare for travelers from around the world to visit again, we look forward to welcoming you and hope these new measures make for a safer and happier environment for everyone.
World Sports, the World Sport, I'm Paul White.
I'm Matt Davis.
I'm Ian Shaw. I'm Don Riddell. I'm Alex Thomas. I'm Patrick Snell. And this
Is CNN.
Well, the Gulf states didn't have enough to deal with. Ida set to make landfall in the coming hours. COVID cases in Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana deaths increased in 42 states last week, some by as high as 50%. For the seventh weekend in a row, demonstrators rallied against the French health pass. Some 160,000 people in France hit the streets across the country on Saturday. The march you see there is one of four planned for the capital this weekend. 16 people were arrested and 3 police officers were slightly injured during Saturday's protests. Australia is reporting another day of record-setting COVID cases. New South Wales reported more than 12,000 new locally transmitted cases on Sunday. That's the highest ever. Only 35% of people over the age of 16 are fully vaccinated in the state. And Australia's neighbor down under is also seeing a surge in new cases. On Sunday, New Zealand reported dozens of new COVID infections. The country is in lockdown until at least Tuesday night, but in some cities like Auckland and Wellington, curfew could get extended. So China is pushing back on theories of where COVID originated. An inconclusive report from the U.S. intelligence community sparked a swift condemnation from Chinese officials, but it doesn't stop there. CNN's David Culver has more on attempts by Chinese state media to twist the narrative on the pandemic.
出了情况不要慌，想想能给谁带到？ A constant barrage of digital articles with sarcastic cartoons, TV reports, documentaries, even a rap song. All of it part of an aggressive Chinese propaganda campaign aimed to sow doubt and deflect blame when it comes to the origins of COVID-19. CNN combing through months of online posts and publications, they reveal a seemingly coordinated effort pushed by state media and diplomats. Some of the stories appearing authentic and convincing, like the work of Wilson Edwards, whose online profile suggests he's a biologist from Switzerland. On July 24th, Edwards appeared to post a lengthy article slamming the World Health Organization for its COVID investigation, claiming the WHO advisory group succumbed to a political tool, striking a similar sentiment that's been shared repeatedly by Chinese officials. Look a bit closer and you'll find this was Wilson Edwards' first Facebook post. He's only got 3 friends. Still, his article got picked up by Voice of South Pacific and shared more than 500 times. We found many of those reposting the article, apparent trolls pushing Beijing's agenda. A deeper dig into Voice of South Pacific finds that the publication is ultimately run by China News Service, a state-controlled news agency. Not surprising, Wilson's pro-China stance got plenty of play online in other state media outlets. That was until the neutral Swiss embassy in Beijing sent out this tweet on August 10th, looking for Wilson Edwards, hoping to find this biologist. No luck, it seemed, as the embassy of Switzerland later concluded he doesn't exist. If you exist, we would like to meet you, the embassy said. His Facebook account likely to be fake, and so too that article. Suddenly, state media purged all references to Wilson Edwards. That is just one recent example of China's effort to influence the COVID-19 origins narrative by deflecting blame for the worldwide pandemic and then staying silent in the early days as it spread in China before it alerted World Health officials. Other efforts include consistently rehashing old conspiracy theories, primarily that the virus started in a lab. No, not this lab, this one. Fort Detrick in the United States, the home of the U.S. Army's biological laboratory. Though there is no evidence the virus originated here, that has not stopped the Chinese from trying to push their version of a lab leak theory.
The U.S. should invite WHO experts to investigate Fort Detrick.
And people are getting the message, true or not. One conspiracy article picked up by state media Xinhua on July 30th alleged the virus leaked from Fort Detrick to Europe. It was viewed nearly 25 million times on Chinese site Weibo. A video made by a Chinese state media reporter appeared to show several satellite images of the U.S.'s biological labs, suggesting the virus, despite having first been detected in Wuhan, came from the U.S. The video getting nearly 200,000 views on Facebook, which happens to be blocked in China. The propaganda-fueled push might be working, at least in China. State media tabloid Global Times claimed more than 25 million people signed an online petition to investigate the U.S. military. And just look at the spike in Fort Detrick interest on Chinese search engine Baidu. After the initial surge in searches when a WHO field mission was in Wuhan in January of this year, a second spike last month after Beijing rejected a WHO Phase 2 study, and began churning out more propaganda, which has since steadily flooded the airwaves and cyberspace. As President Biden's 90-day intelligence community review on the origins ends, its findings will likely only fuel the fiery war of words over who's to blame, with nearly 4.4 million deaths. Taking over CNN, Beijing.
Some female activists aren't giving up on women's rights in Afghanistan despite the Taliban's takeover.
You're selling fill chalk in schools, and we noticed that the kids didn't have any colored plastics to go with. And so our foundation wanted to create a wax pan that would be affordable for kids to use in the classroom.
You know, are we thinking about this only from one side? We keep asking, what is Twitter going to do about the Taliban? I think it's a very fair question to ask, what's the Taliban going to do about Twitter? We said that only a third of Afghanistan has social media, and I believe that's probably true. That doesn't mean over the next 5 years, only a third of Afghanistan will have social media, especially when you consider that nearly half the country is under age 15. So I think the Taliban, in some ways, is being very pragmatic here and saying we can't put that genie back in the bottle. We can't just ban social media and expect to be able to govern in 2022 the way we might have 20 years ago. And so I think this is going to be very much, I like to phrase, cat and mouse game, but in both directions, because the Taliban is going to have to adapt to Twitter, just like Twitter's going to have to adapt to the Taliban. Ian, Martin, what's your take on that?
I agree with Jim. Though I would say I think there's plenty of opportunity for the Taliban, if they want to get very aggressive. We have to remember this isn't just about the platforms. A lot of the focus is on Twitter, Facebook, etc. But really, it's also the infrastructure players that have been weighing in as well. It's happened in the U.S., it's happened abroad. AWS, cloud-player infrastructure providers saying, we're not going to host this content and forcing people to seek those services elsewhere. Most of the internet is now run on AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure. All those services need to be made, there needs to be decisions made about these services from those companies about whether they want to host the websites, host the content of these groups. I think by and large, Jim is right. The population is young. There's a lot of usage of social media. The Taliban have been using YouTube particularly effectively to get younger people out on the streets saying, look how wonderful everything is like they're being not allowed to use social media the way they should, maybe they'll begin to restrict it for their citizens.
Hassan, I'm going to say Ian Myers makes a point there about targeting the youth in Afghanistan. This works both ways, as we saw with the so-called Arab Spring in 2011. And in Afghanistan, over the last 20 years, we have a whole generation there that has grown up without Taliban rule. Many will be willing to accept it now, but like the Taliban, they also know how to use social media to their advantage.
Absolutely, these are all very valid points that were made. The challenge also is that at this moment, the Twitter account of the representative of Taliban is the only major source for information for us. Yesterday, for example, or recently, Taliban leadership used the Twitter messaging to make a case that all the women health workers should return to their work. Of course, they only focus first on the women health workers because there is a health crisis also. Recently, the terrorist attack that happened, people who were in the hospitals had to be taken care of, and most of the physicians, doctors are either at home or they are in the hospital leaving the country. So Taliban needed, but how could they get the message out? Twitter was their only channel. So for some time, apparently this will be the only way, and if Taliban continue to operate the way they are projecting in terms of minority rights, in terms of women, in terms of ensuring that human rights violations at a mass scale are not happening, and they are using Twitter for positive messaging, and the Taliban main control remains in the hands of those who were the Doha group with whom certain negotiations or the peace deal was made, and we see that other groups like Daesh or ISIS or ISK, Islamic State in Khorasan, that they are being pushed back by Taliban. And so if all those things continue to happen, then the Twitter account from Taliban actually turns out to be something which is making a good use of messaging in terms of using it as a tool. So a lot depends on the situation on the ground and how these various events take shape. If they continue in a way which shows that there is a form of government which is at least taking care of people, which is engaging with the international community, which is responding to the international needs